as business at Google. Been doing that for about a decade now. So very, very happy and honored to be here with you today. Thanks, our friend Topsort, for inviting us. Okay, I think I have like about half an hour to take you through that journey. Some cool things that Google just released recently. And at the end, Marina Falcao from Magalu, Magazine Luiza, marketplace in Brazil, we're calling with, together with Topsort, will join me on stage to do a quick demo of the solution. The agenda is very much, we'll start with why we're doing this, why we do think that Google is the right place for retailers and marketplace as well as the sellers and brands to meet the customer. And then spend a bit of time on showcasing this new solution called Commerce Media Network for Google Ads. And then at the end, we'll do something more practical with it. Okay, so these are all big numbers here, right? But I think a lot of people still, with all the competition going around, like ChatGPT and others, we're still wondering, okay, is Google, the right place for your sellers and brand to meet? Well, the answer is yes, right? 15% of the requests referring to Google are new every day. Google and YouTube remain the two top destinations to search throughout the purchasing journey. And there's some big numbers of billions of product listing and update every hour. So, we're still operating at a very large scale. And this is very much where everything happens when it comes to meet the consumer with the retailers, agency, and brand. Okay, all of this is evolving, of course. I'm not sure if you are using these new cool features that Google has released. It's been a while now in the US market at least. So the user experience is very much evolving, right? For deterministic, very reactive experience to a more agentic, more AI-driven experience, right? So one example is here with the lens, where you can take a picture of an object and then you can get right away the same product online and you can buy it. Or as well the AI overview, or even like the AI, this new tab on the Google search. Okay, so just to close the loop here, right? With Google, basically, which you can meet the customer where they are throughout all the journey in all the different platforms, whether it is shopping property, map, could be as well in the storefront, display, search video, etc. Right? And what we're doing is very much embracing that opportunity, making sure that your brand, your sellers, or you as a marketplace or as a retailer, then you can, of course, capture that opportunity. Okay, that was very much like a very broad introduction, just to put the context in place. Now, introducing Commerce Media Network for Google Ads. So, not sure if you saw the news at Google Marketing Live. Same area, a couple of miles away, 2 days ago. With Google Marketing Live is the main annual conference of Google when it comes to ads, right? And we presented this new solution. So it's now pretty much available. And it's called Commerce Media Network for Google Ads. For those a little bit more familiar with what Google does, last year we piloted the former version of it, called Performance Micro Marketplace. These are all very complicated names, but TLDR is retail media offsite on Google. Okay? All right, just let's double click a little bit on this new Commerce Media Network for ads. So this is where basically retailer and brand can work together in order to increase sales, to increase the volume of new customers. A couple of cool features here. We can leverage the first-party data of the retailer. The retailer will be able to share the data to the brand, for instance. This is very valuable data, of course, and commercialize that. I mentioned before in the previous slide when you had like the loop, right, the circle. It's online as well expanding to offline to online to offline. Okay, go to omnichannel. Important for all the brick and mortars who have a lot of stores as well. Full inventory, that is as well related to what I mentioned. Be able to display your ads across all the different platforms of Google. And then, very important as well, the privacy-centric measurement, privacy-centric environment. As well, right? We're using first-party data with Google Google Analytics, GA4, or as well as G9. So all of this, make the user brand pretty safe when it comes to, reaching the customers out there. So retailers can unlock additional brand budget at scale, leveraging Google AI. Google AI is everywhere, and people think that AI is new Google, but it's not. Right? If you know why, Performance Max, for instance, is using for a while. Smart bidding, machine learning, all of it, all this is AI. And first-party data, as I mentioned. And then they can leverage this first-party data, the power of the scale of the marketplace of the retailer, site, and then expand that towards offsite with people. A bit of just going a little bit deeper, right? What's the user experience? And what can we do? When I mentioned all the different surfaces of Google, this is what we can do, right? So as your brand and your sellers offering with you as a marketplace or as a brand, as a retailer, sorry, you can display your ads across all the different properties. Shopping, Gmail search, YouTube, Discover, display. Until now, that was available only through one campaign type, called Performance Max, for those who are familiar with Google Ads. Now we're moving to a more a la carte solution, where you want to do only, for instance, a more upper funnel with consideration interest. You can do demand gen with YouTube, for instance. You want to continue down the path or direct response with direct conversion. You can go with shopping, etc. So there's more, let's say, possibility within the framework. So this is another example. These are screenshots, by the way, from our partner magazine with Topsort. So the shop where we'll stop discovering the product, as I mentioned before. Let's imagine they click on the ad and then they can purchase the product at the end. For the version, it's very much like capturing the version of the brand, right? Capturing the exposure, right? Making sure they basically where the user is searching. Capturing the conversion opportunity, driving traffic to the product page of the marketplace of the retailer, and then at the end, of course, driving conversion. Pretty straightforward, I guess. Okay, so we're partnering with marketplaces and retailers. We're doing that at a scale as well with our friend of Topsort. All of this is very much just to sum up, right? I think I already mentioned that, but just to re-emphasize the message. Very much incrementality of sales, because you're going offsite on top of on-site. Optimization, lower cost, making sure that you can control your budget. So you can set up target ROAS, return on ad spend. That's one way to do that. And last but not least as well, as I mentioned with YouTube, for instance, or Gmail, except for display, you can as well do more like, being out there on improving your brand presence, capturing interest and consideration, and the upper funnel of the conversion. Okay. All right. So what is new here? I think I mentioned a little bit, but let's spend a couple of minutes on that. So the current offering for Performance Platform Marketplace, which is now evolving to our commerce media network app, which is, by the way, the new name. I should start talking about Performance Platform Marketplace. And we moved from PMAX, Performance Market Campaign, to, as I mentioned, full campaign coverage, right? Search, regular shopping already live, by the way. We're extending to our demand gen and display. Demand gen include YouTube here. Okay. We, of course, have the SKU-level e-commerce reporting, which is one of the key added value of it. Right? You avoid the spillage to make sure that every seller, get reporting on their own product and not the product that the user ended up buying on the marketplace or the retailer side. That was mostly designed for, it was designed for marketplace. Now we're really expanding to other retailers, brick more retailers as well, with omnichannel reporting, O2O, audience sharing, what I mentioned as well before. So you as a retailer, you can share your data to the brand. EVC, engagement conversion, for those that's the way a lot of players in the market are doing. This is to measure the conversion through YouTube video mostly, so video engagement. Whenever a user spends more than 10 seconds or 5 seconds on video, depending on the format, and we count that as an engaged view conversion. Okay? And then last but not least, the ability to really manage for the brand campaign at scale. So I'm a brand, I have all these sellers in the marketplace, right? Or I'm a brand, I deal with a retailer and I sell a product to a retailer, right? I will be able very quickly, very easily in the setup, this is all obviously happening in the back end, via a filter to level for brand, that I can run my campaign for all my products across the business sellers. Pretty cool. So, how can you do that in terms of a service model or buying those? There's different ways. The way we know is the way to do the Topsort and marketing result, which we do at the end. So we'll double click on that in a minute. But on the left side, you can as well do some managed service. You know, some retail marketplaces already do that. Not really new, but you can leverage the new numbers, media network ads to do that. So you act very much as an agency, and you do the job on behalf of your customer, right? Pretty much, that's the idea. And you can, as well, of course, leverage all the different assets and different capabilities of the solution. On the right side, for that brand-led, or it could be seller-led, it's very much like, I am a brand, or I am a seller, I can do that on the platform now, right? And what would be the role of a retail marketplace is data collection. Product listing, of course, you do have that, they don't, as well as the first-party data, as I mentioned before. Okay, so this is what we have here with our friend of Topsort, with Magalu Ads. It is, we call that the self-service platform, right? So within the Magalu Ads UI, you can do on-site, now you can do off-site as well. Okay, pretty cool. And we, again, this is based on the API, the Google Ads API. We offer, of course, transparency when it comes to reporting. We have now this privacy-centric environment for sellers, but as I mentioned, we're expanding to brand. We can definitely do that as well, and we will be able as well to manage brand. So this is the solution, I think. Marina, can you join me on stage? Yeah? So before Marina will take you through the demo, just a couple of cool data here. Right, we just launched a solution, 2 weeks ago? I think GA, right, general availability. And so far we've tested as well last year and earlier this year. The ROAS is pretty strong. All of this varies by country, of course, right? I know in Asia it can be different depending on the, just the user behavior. But across the board, we do see two-digit ROAS for the seller, but as well for the marketplace, right? So it's not only, driving good results for your customer, but as well as basically, having incrementality of GMV for free, right? To sell the brand, getting around. And yeah, pretty much, I think. Now, over to you. I mean, let me see if that starts.
I'm curious, does anyone knows Magalu? Oh my god, great. So Magalu is actually the biggest Brazilian retailer, and we are competing now with Mercado Livre, Amazon, and Shopping Brazil. And you might ask why Magalu is operating off-site via, because as we have a huge audience, we also have a challenge to grow in some categories that we don't have a huge market share, as we have, for example, in electronics, that we have 50% of market share. In CPG brands, we doesn't have this amount of traffic share. We have like 10 or 5% only. But we have a good problem. We have a lot of money on the table of CPG brands. So why not having this solution with off-site media in order to diversify our traffic source and giving this opportunity for brands to invest on Magalu Ads with a good ROAS, as Roman just mentioned. And in the end of the day, giving incremental sales, incremental revenue for Magalu Ads and Magalu as a marketplace. So this is one, I think that's our first point of decision. The second one is that we have a lot of signals, and having this amount of signals is also having good performance on Google Ads. So it's better for a brand or a seller to invest through Magalu, in name of Magalu, on behalf of Magalu, instead of investing on their own e-commerce. So amount of audience is also good performance for them. And the third point is that we have, for a small business, we have the trust on Magalu. So they are investing on Google Ads only in the name of Magalu. So when you see an ad on Google Shopping, you are seeing the Magazine Luiza brand and not the seller brand. So this is something that for them is really important, and that's why we did it. And Magalu as a company has like a motto in which we consider that we need to have for small business and all of types of business, and give what is privilege of a few of business. So what we are doing this with Topsort's help, of course, and I would like to of course, say that they were good partners on this because it's pretty new, right, for me. And they're discussing this with Google for 2 years, from 2021 maybe, 2022 for now. So they were really good partners to develop this. And the thing is, we need something simpler. So what we are giving access through Topsort and Google Ads is a simpler solution for creating campaigns with a few amount of clicks for creating campaigns. So we have a video as an example, right? It's pretty quick, but the thing is the seller just needs some buttons and create a campaign, choosing the products and the amount of budget, and then the campaign is on there. So that's it.
So when Marina said, when Topsort joined, basically, just to give you a sense of how fast we did that, I think that was just like a matter of 1 or 2 months to get the product right, basically ready, which is pretty impressive, right? There's a lot of data to manage, right? Well, we were very lucky as well because Magazine Luiza has a pretty robust and healthy, catalog, which is not the case for everybody. So that was pretty helpful. But in a nutshell, it's very, very efficient and fast way to operate. Yeah. So I think we have a bit of time, right? Can we do like some Q&A? If you do have some question, happy to answer. Yeah, sure.
First of all, it's been a pleasure working with your team, and Magalu has been like absolutely awesome. So really, Roman, and really working with you, especially, is a pleasure. I can't wait for the Commerce Millionaire. These are news for me. We've been busy with the conference, but that's really cool. Right?
Yeah,
it's like a way to kind of expand.
We can do it. Tomorrow. This is now available. So YouTube is not over yet. The intent is coming. We don't have to work like a roadmap. Hopefully by end of year, but we can already onboard brands. That's for sure. We can already do as well regular shopping or search as more icons. So there's already a lot of possibilities that are available.
Amazing. So can't wait to discuss with your team.
Yeah,
this is really cool.
Thank you. Regina?
Would you like to, I want to know what was the user research process when you guys were deciding the right level of complexity, and then also how did you monitor the feedback when you were ready to do GA?
That's for
both of you, yeah.
Okay. Well, when I was signed, this project was not a product team, but we were here with them since 2024. So it's a pretty classic process. We went a pilot with alpha testing, and then we just learned so much along the way, right? PMAX, for instance, is great. It's you offer scalability, but when we talk to brands, they're more advanced, right? They're already doing their own regular shopping campaign. They have different metrics, different objective goals, for your engagement versus your response, blah blah blah. So, right, you want to offer them more flexibility. That's one. What else? I think the brand as well, right? The brand play, the beginning, the idea, because our team, we work in the SMB space. So of course, all the marketplaces, deal with sellers, but at the end of the day, there's so much to do in the co-op space with the brand. But if all of it was just like, the way we go with one idea, one concept, and that's being, being evolving along the way. So pretty much. Yeah, okay.
Just out of curiosity, obviously, the next wave of growing offsite is utilising first-party data, like you said. But around the globe, with various different rules and legislations, it can be difficult. Have you launched this globally, or is this just US? Or?
So it's available, let's say, globally. It's still on the whitelisting process, though. Okay, but let's say if you met such a requirement, it is doable. We have partners for now in Latin America and in Asia. But we definitely have partners in Europe as well, or in the United States, of course. It's pretty much available everywhere. Yeah. All right, thank you so much.